We're here with Stuart Valberg, who is the filmmaker of Lullaby. Welcome and congratulations.
Hello, thank you very much for having me be a part of this festival.
Tell us a little about your film and what inspired the story.
It's a short, and it was inspired by a Chuck Palahniuk novel called Lullaby. I'm from Boston originally, and I moved to New York, and one of the themes of Lullaby is the idea that media can be kind of oppressive and all-consuming, and an overstimulating aspect of society. And, for me, part of the differences from moving here to there was the fact that you're constantly surrounded by, people and stimulus, and, whether it's construction or people talking on their phones, or, your music from your neighbors. It's, becomes almost oppressive to a degree. And I happened to be moving at the same time that I read the novel, and this was kind of one of the ideas that was in the novel and made me want to make the short.
Cool. And tell us a little about the kinds of work you've done before. Have you done anything before? Is this your first film?
This is my third short. I work in the film industry to make a living. I'm an assistant director by career, but a director by passion. I mean, one thing that's nice about being an assistant director is that you work on a project, and when it begins and when it's over, it's freelance, and you have the time in between working on other people's work to work on your own. So that's what I've tried to do for the past couple years, and I've been lucky in the fact that it's timed out well in terms of when crew's available, and that's kind of how Lullaby got made. I mean, there was a break in between one movie, and I wrote it, and then there was a break in between another movie, and I called everybody I knew and asked for favors, and then there was a break in between a third one, and we shot it. And same thing with the editing, and it was a long process because of that, but that's kind of how we got it done.
Who are you inspired by as far as storytelling and or filmmaking specifically, and what genres do you tend to gravitate towards?
In terms of genres, I would say science fiction interests me the most. The film is not real, it's an interpretation of reality, and I think that science fiction is one of the great ways to interpret the reality around us. And, it's certainly not real, but, the kind of the what if and the world building, is kind of what I think that the most interesting things that film can do. And Alfonso Cuarón or David Fincher are two of my favorite contemporary working directors. And, I think that this idea of, going to the cinema and what can you take away from it, it relates to normal life, even though you've seen something that's fictitious, it, to me, is the most interesting.
Cool. And do you have any projects that you're currently working on? Can you tell us about them?
Right now I'm trying to adapt Greg Egan's Permutation City, which is a science fiction novel, and just had a break in between other people's movies, and I just wrote it, and now I'm trying to hire a crew, and get everything together, for the next break that we have, and hopefully we can shoot it sometime, and then get to editing and post-production.
Great. Well, thank you for speaking with us, and congratulations again, and best of luck to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.